I'm going to show you how to set up an IVSS for the first time. First thing you want to do is open up a web browser and navigate to the default IP address of the IVSS, which is 192.168.1.108. You'll see the Welcome to IVSS page, and then you'll see the setup screen where it asks you for the region and language. But before we do that, we want to download the PC app to your computer. There's a button at the bottom here. Click it. The download will start for the PC app. Once it's done downloading, you want to run the installer and install it on your PC. Once that's done installing, you open it up and navigate to the same page. Once you're in the PC app, you'll navigate to the same page as you were in the web browser. It will then show you the same information, asking for the region, the language, and the video standard. First thing you want to do is set the region to the country you're in. In this case, I'm in the United States. Then you want to set the language to your language. In this case, my language is English. And then you want to set the video standard to the standard for your region. In my case, in North America, it's NTSC. Then you want to select Next at the bottom right. Then you want to read through the software license agreement. And when you're done, check the box at the bottom left to agree. Then select Device Initialization at the bottom right. On this page, you want to set up the correct date and time, including the correct time zone for your area. When you're done, click Next at the bottom right. Then you want to input a password for the admin account on the IVSS. Make sure it's a strong password. When you're done, click the Next button at the bottom right. On this page, it'll ask for an email address and security questions and their answers. If you want to fill this out, you can. It will help you if you forget the password. Otherwise, if you don't, you can disable the buttons next to each section. When you're done, click the Finish button at the bottom right. Now that you've finished the initial setup of the IVSS, you can click the button at the bottom right to begin the quick settings setup. You'll be automatically logged in. On this page, you can set the network settings for the IVSS. You can modify each individual NIC's settings. If you want to do so, click the Operate button to the right of any of the individual NIC cards. Then you can set it to either DHCP or a static IP address. Then fill out all the information, and when you're done, click OK at the bottom. When you're done making all the changes to the network settings, click Next at the bottom right. On this page, it will ask you if you want P2P enabled. I'm going to leave it on by default, and then I'm going to click Finish at the bottom right. Then you will be logged into the IVSS interface. First thing we want to do once we're logged in is we need to add a device to the IVSS. To do that, you go to the gear at the top right-hand corner here. Then you go to Device at the top left. When you're in the device list here, you want to press the Add button. You can do a Smart Add here in the Smart Add section. Press the Start Search button right here, and it will search your network for all available Dahua devices that can be added to the IVSS. Once it finds all available devices on the network, it'll appear in the list here. To add a device, you first need to put in the credentials for it. You do that by clicking on Password at the top here. Then you put in the username and password for that device. Then you click OK at the bottom here. Then you check the box next to the device you want to add. You can check the box next to multiple devices if they have the same login credentials. Then you click Add at the bottom right here. You'll see this page, it'll say to be added. Once it's added, it'll say added, and then you can click Finish. You'll see a green status here for that device. That camera's now been added. Now, if I wanted to add something manually, I could press the Add button this way, and then go to Manual Add at the top instead of Smart Add. Then I click on Add Device here, and then I put in all the information for that device manually. Once you have all the information in there, click OK at the bottom right. You can add more devices by pressing Add Device again and repeating the process. Once you have all the devices you want to add, click Add at the bottom right. You'll see the same status of to be added while it's trying to add it. Once it's been successfully added, it'll say Added here under Status. Click Finish at the bottom, and you'll see the camera added to the list. Now that we've added both cameras, we need to verify that they show up in the live view. To do that, we click Exit at the top left here. You'll see the two cameras in the list on the left. To open one of them, double click on it. You'll see the live view there. To see the live view of the other one, double click on it as well. And you'll see them side by side. So now we need to set up recording. So to do that, you go to the gear at the top right-hand corner. Now click on Storage. Select Local Hard Disk on the left here. You'll see all the hard drives that you have installed. I have one installed right here. To format that drive, check the box next to it. And then click the Format button right here. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to format the selected drive? Click OK to format that drive and wipe all the data off of it. It'll say formatting right there, and then it'll go to a normal status once it's been formatted. Now you need to set up the recording plan. To do that, you click the arrow next to video recording here. Click on Schedule. You'll see your cameras that you've added here. You can set up whether they're recorded on General 24/7 by checking the box for General here, and or if you want them recorded for specific events such as motion recording. And for those recorded events, you can choose what the pre-record time is here. You can double click on it, type in the number you want. Additionally, if you click the gear to the right of either of the cameras, you'll have the option to change what schedule the general recording is on. It's by default on the default schedule. If you want to add a new schedule, press Add Schedule. Press the plus button at the bottom left here. Name the schedule here, then click OK. Make sure you've selected the schedule on the left. Then you can select the timeline on each day and adjust it to when you want it to start and stop recording. And you can do that for each day of the week. Once you have the schedule you like, click Apply at the bottom, then click Save. Then make sure that you change the schedule for General here to the schedule you just set. and then click OK at the bottom. Then click Save at the bottom here. Now, if you want to make changes to how the hard drive records when it gets full, click Basic here on the left. And then if you want it to be where when the hard drive is full, it overrides the oldest data, keep it on Overwrite here. But if you want it to just stop, select the Stop option, and then click Save at the bottom right. So next, we're going to look at how to view the playback of the recorded footage. Go to Exit at the top left here, then press the plus button to the right of Live. Select Search. You'll see your cameras here on the left. Select the camera that you want to view recorded footage of. Check the box and then go down here and you can choose which type of recordings you want. I'm going to do all recordings. Then you can choose whether you want the mainstream or substream. I'm going to do mainstream. Then set the start date and time and end date and time. Click the calendar to the right to choose the exact date. You can see green dots below all the dates to have recordings. I'm going to choose this date and then click OK. And then for the end time, choose the same date. Click OK. Then click Search. You now see all the recordings at the top here for that camera for that day. You can double click on it and it will pull up in the view down here. You can pause, fast forward, or rewind. Now to view multiple cameras at the same time, check the box next to both cameras. Click the search button again. Now you'll see both cameras listed here. I'll select this camera and then drag in to see the footage. Then select this camera. And then I will drag that in as well. Up above. Now they'll be on top of each other. Now to synchronize the recording so that they are matching up, click the button down here. And then click on the timeline for where you want to play. And now you'll have the recording playing back for both cameras synchronized to the same time.